Okay, folks, this will be a difficult one or a challenging one. Let's see if I can make it turn up a treat. It's got potential. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will, folks. They certainly will. Let's see how we go with that. Okay, let's see what this is. It is a hubcap I found on the street off some Toyota vehicle. Toyota? Yes. You can get that emblem. Yeah, you know that's a Toyota. Even though I'm not a car enthusiast, I don't know much about cars. I do appreciate them, I suppose, but I'm not an actual enthusiast, and I don't even have a driver's license, and I've never held a license, folks. I never held a driver's license, so yeah, I know very little about cars. I do have some favourites, but basically I just admire them from afar. I'm not actually an enthusiast, and that's come up looking really quite interesting, actually. Not quite what I'm after. A little bit too minimalist. It's a bit scratchy on the glass though. Yeah, that's come up looking really quite nice, that Toyota emblem. I think I could work with that actually. I think I like it. I like it, even though it's a little bit on the minimalist side, it still looks good. So this has obviously fucking come off someone's lovely Toyota. Must be frustrating to be an owner of a car and have that. However much it's a cosmetic thing, it must be annoying to lose a part of your car. Yeah, it would be, folks. It would be very infuriating. I do empathise. Speaking of empathy, that's one of the things that when I got tested for high-functioning autism or Asperger's many years ago, the person who was testing me, I lost my settings. The person who was assessing me said I was too warm to be on the autistic spectrum, but then it's very notoriously difficult to diagnose women who've got it. It's easier to diagnose the blokes, but it's more difficult for the woman to be diagnosed. Very difficult indeed. But empathy, I do have empathy for people, which is, I think, Asperger's. Most of them don't. But I've got other symptoms like sensory issues. I love my photocopiers obsessively, which is a huge strike in that. What else? Got to think off the top of my head, folks. It's hard. I used to hate loud noises, like power tools and shit. What else? Oh, I don't like certain textures of food. That comes under the sensory issues. I've got to think off the top of my head. I'll probably remember when I go off camera. But yeah, I have got at least a handful of symptoms that seem to show that I've got it. But it has to be, I have to get diagnosed, folks. I want to get diagnosed properly and professionally. I don't want to just let it be just me assuming that I've got it when it's possible I may not have it, for all we know. So I don't want to try to diagnose myself, but I don't have the money to see a specialist for a second opinion. I want to see Dr. Tony Atwood. He's one of the world's leading authorities on high functioning autism and Asperger's and autism in general. And if anyone's going to give me a positive diagnosis, it's got to be him. So I'm hoping that when I get in touch with my partner Luigi, I'll get tested properly, and I'll have Dr. Tony Atwood doing it, and he'll do a really good job. And then if it's so yeah, it's very hard to diagnose girls apparently and women. Thing is, I discovered when I was talking to someone on Saturday, one of my NDIS workers, because I got a diagnosis with something else that I can't talk about because it's stigmatic, but I get help with cooking and that. And I noticed when I was talking to her, I was talking mainly about my TV campaign and about my desire to revolutionise photocopiers and shit. And basically, yeah, I wasn't into all that small talky shit. I just felt like just talking as if I was doing business. So yeah, that's pretty much the social side of things. That maybe that's something that I can go on, because yeah, I just struggle. Sometimes I can make small talk, but it's not something I really enjoy too much compared with talking about photocopiers and their future design and this, that and the other. Yeah, I much prefer to talk about photocopiers than talk. I do small talk. Somehow I've managed to learn it, but basically, yeah, I've become quite good at it, but when I was talking to the lady, I noticed I was mainly talking about myself and my dreams about photocopier design and about my media campaign, my TV campaign that I'm trying to get in touch with my partner Luigi. So yeah, and that's come up looking minimalist, but it looks quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.